All right. So now we're going to talk about the caller, the guy who sits on the left side of the table. The caller's responsibility in the kata division is simply to line all of these guys up in the order that they're in. So if I pull this paper over here, each ring will be set up. Obviously, it's a rectangle, and then it has the head referee will sit here, and then your table is right here. All right. And the athletes who are in this line, in this order, will line up on this side of the ring, on the right side of the ring. So JP's first, so JP would be here. And you don't have to really write all this out. This is just me showing you in real space. You're basically going to take this chart, you're going to hold it in your hands, you're going to go over there, and you're going to say, all right, JP, I need you to stand right here. All right, Charles, you're next to him, Cherie. And it's going to be JP, Charles, Cherie, all the way down that line. All right? What's going to end up happening is these first two athletes are going to come out here and they're going to come compete. All right? When they, after they get done, the referees are going to decide who wins. And let's say this guy wins and this guy loses. Whoever wins rejoins the end of the line. And whoever doesn't win makes a new line going down this way. All right. At the end, once this line keeps going and going and going and going and going until there are until there's no one left in that ring, there's going to be a first place winner from this line, and they're going to line up right here. All right. And then whoever got second place in this first round will get next to them. Okay. All right. So then everybody has lost now, so they're all lining up over on this side. And then we're going to literally do the exact same process where the first two athletes are going to come out and they're going to run their katas. And then if they win, they rejoin the line. So let me say that one more time. Whenever you win, you rejoin the line. Whenever you don't win, you go to the other side. All right? And eventually we're going to come up with a first place winner on the second round. And then once we have that that first place winner on the second round, let's say that it's this guy right here. This guy and this guy are going to battle one final battle. And whoever wins becomes the true second place winner overall. And whoever loses becomes the third place winner overall. So let's say this guy ends up losing to him. And then so there's first, second, and third. So that's all the caller does. All right, so let's talk about what the caller is going to do during the Kobudo division. Okay, so during the Kobudo division, everybody's lined up in this order. They're sitting down over there, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to start with that first name, and you're going to see. Oh, over here, he's actually grayed out. That actually means he's not participating today. So we're going to skip his name. So you could even like that if you want to. And then, so now the next one is going to be Charlie Bartkus. So the caller is going to stand up and say, Charlie Bartkus is up. And then you go to the next name. Looks like Cherie Tagawa. Oh, but she's not doing it. All right, Lucas is next, okay? And Lucas Green on deck. So you always want to say who's up and who's on deck. That gives the second guy a chance to kind of stand up and get his head together or something like that, right? All right, once JP is done, once Charlie is done, the referees are going to do and they're all going to hold up like a paddle that has scores on it. And then it's the caller's responsibility to stand up and get their hand like this, and you're going to point to each one. I don't know if you can tell on this thing, but I can show you at the tournament. But basically, you're going to do like a tomahawk chop if you ever remember seeing that at sporting events. So you're going to be like, you point to the first referee and you're going to say 5.0, 5.5, 5.2, 5.6, 7.0. And then you're going to stand there for a second while the chart guy writes everything down. The calculator calculates the score, and then they're going to write down the total score. And then you'll say, total score, 16.3. So that's basically what you do. You say who's up and who's on deck. You say 5.5, 5.0, 5.5, and you just kind of point at each score as you're calling them out. You wait for this total score to be written down, and you say total score 15.5. So yeah, that's what you do for the Kobudo division. All right, let's talk a little bit about the caller's responsibility during Kumite. Now, the caller actually has two different jobs during Kumite, but they're both really easy. All you need to do is say who's up in this fight, who's on deck, and then you also are going to hold up the score. So in this case, our first fight is going to be Andon and Caleb. We'll always start at the top left and work our way down, and then we go to the top right and work our way down, and then we do the left and then the right and then the left and the right all the way until we get to our championship match. So in this case, we have up first, Andon is on Akka. Caleb is on Shiro. So Akka is red and Shiro is white. And on deck, Alexander is Akka. Daniel is Shiro. So Akka will always be the guy on top. Shiro is always the guy on bottom. So when you're calling out the names. While that fight's going, then you would say, Alexander up, Daniel up, on deck, Josiah, Akka, Samuel, Shiro. And then those two fighters can go out to their spots and get ready. So anyway, but you're calling out like who's up and who's coming on deck. So there's that. Then the next thing you do is you just hold up a paddle that has numbers on it. It's actually the same paddle that the referees use to score their katas. And you're just going to keep track of the score. So if Andon has 1 point, well, then you flip over on that chart and you'll be able to know when you're there. But basically, you just give him a 1. And then when Caleb scores a point, you give him a 1. And then Andon scores a point, you give him, now he's up 2-1. And you can just show the score. So that's basically it. You just hold the paddle and hold the score. So you say who's up, who's on deck, and then you hold up the paddle that shows the score. That's it.